So when we last left our
I'm not
intrepid
even
listeners,
hearing you. Hold on. Go ahead.
we actually had something that you wanted to talk about on the vote yes on question 3.
Well, yeah, actually, it's going to come out. It's going to come out right now, and we talked about this. So, question 3 was 700 members of MassPac, all different size stores, all different. So that you have mom and pop convenience stores, you have grocers, you have traditional liquor stores, you have small liquor stores, bigger liquor stores that all went through. And the only opposition that we've had has been a big, giant, out-of-state, Maryland-based company called Total Wine, and people have heard there, and they're out there as Massachusetts Fine Wine and Spirits LLC, but it is them.
They're representing themselves as that, as though they were a Massachusetts company,
but they're not. They're based in
Maryland.
And they're the ones that don't want this. And we think, by the way, they don't want this ultimately because it's not enough licenses that we have built in and how they have it. So I will tell you this, they're up to $3 million. That is the most money ever spent on a political ballot question by any company in the history of ballot questions. Now, this is not about, I don't know, you take your pick about really hard hitting topics, gun rights or abortion or whatever you want to take, however you want to take, that would be a really strong, divisive question.
Right.
I mean, we have for question 3, vote yes has bipartisan support by Republicans and Democrats, right? This is not one of those things, but yet we have a company that's willing to spend $3 million, and I think more, to make sure it doesn't go through. That's the weirdest thing I think I've ever heard of.
Right. And I think that a lot of people who are looking at this question, when I actually took it apart and asked all those questions and tried to figure out what it was all about, is basically that the Massachusetts stores have come up with a plan that will allow for expansion and growth from anyone, including stores that are based outside of Massachusetts, but they want it to be done in a controlled way. And a large chain or box store that would be from outside of Massachusetts doesn't really want this to happen. They don't lose anything. They just can't explosively grow fast in Massachusetts by dumping a ton of stores into the market and essentially upset the stability of the market and then export all the money. Cumberland Farms is based out of Britain. Target would be in Minneapolis. So those monies aren't going to stay locally. They're going to pump in a ton of stores, destroy a lot of the local businesses, and then export the money, suck it out of Massachusetts, and divert it back to their base of operations.
Right.
So that's what the real kind of contention is, and that's why they're throwing so much money at it, is that it's going to upset their plans to really be a disruptor in the market at the expense of local Massachusetts businesses.
Let's put it this way. It's all about market control.
Yeah.
The no vote is all about market control. The yes vote is 700 stores across the state from the Berkshires to Boston, trying to bring some stability to the marketplace and a level playing field to the marketplace, and added ways to buy and convenience for the consumer to buy alcoholic beverage, all done in a safe manner. That's a yes vote.
Right.
A no vote is somebody who's trying to trick you into thinking that there's something that they're not. So at the ultimate time, they can get something else, which I think is personally is more licenses, because they're going to have 9 licenses before this is all said and done. They'll be grandfathered in. This is going to go back to 7. But if you really want to get the down and dirty of what question 3 does and all the ins and outs, because it's actually really simple. The problem is when you're trying to take words that you want to, it's a common sense approach, but you have to do it in such a legal way that it becomes convoluted. So with Rob on that show, which will air on Monday after Howie Carr, we can actually, the 3 of us, go through it and explain everything out fully. But if you're undecided and you're at home and you're gonna go vote early, or you're gonna do a mail-in vote, and you can't sort of figure it out, and you're sort of up in the air about it, yes is for 700 stores that are locally owned and operated in Massachusetts, and no is for a company that has a lot of money to throw around. They're throwing $3 million around in here. In Colorado, to do the same thing, trying to get more license, they've done $11 million there. and David Trone, who's one of the owners, I think is a congressman also, if I'm not mistaken, is put $4 million of his own money in that. So you're talking about like over $18 million being thrown around in 2 states to get more stores. I think that's all you need to know.
At the expense of the state's legal process and the way that the states want to do it. To me, this is small stores, local businesses, people who have an invested interest in their community and Massachusetts versus a bunch of outside concerns that want to just kind of walk in and just hollow out the industry.
Well, they want to change the industry for themselves.
Right. For their advantage, which by the way, is not a Massachusetts advantage. It's going to be Britain or Maryland or whoever is going to benefit from it. And it's not going to be the local consumers in the end. Anytime you've seen the big concerns come in, big corporations versus the little guy, it's really damaged quality. It's damaged,
one of the brothers that's throwing this money around is a congressman. I mean, how do really people, I know I don't feel that great that you're throwing around that much money at a problem and stuff like that when you're supposed to be representing the people of the United States. So,
right.
But, that's neither here nor there. That's sort of a, just opinion on that. But anyway,